Welcome, everyone, to this week's episode of Lawyer Talk, Take 5 with a Trusted Advisor, where I want to introduce you each week to the best attorneys that you, your friends, family, loved ones can go to for your legal needs. I am so excited for this week's episode because I have my friend here, Alyssa Holman. Thank you for being here, Alyssa. And please.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks so much. And please take a second to introduce yourself, your firm, and tell us about what you do.
Well, hi, Haley. Thank you so much for having me. My name's Alyssa Holman. I am the founder and managing partner of Holman Kent. We are a firm that handles employment issues, discrimination issues, harassment. We also do handle nursing home abuse cases, and that is really prevalent right now across the nation, particularly with family members just not being able to go in and check on their elder members.
Absolutely. So important. That is excellent. Now, Alyssa, tell me, why did you become a lawyer?
You know, this is a second career for me. I'm a middle-aged 45-year-old woman. I decided to go to law school at the young age of 40 after a successful career in the financial sector. And, you know, one of the main reasons why I went to law school is I've always wanted to and always really have advocated for those that are most vulnerable. As a teenager, I often stood up for kids that were being bullied, and it's always been something that I've been really passionate about. As a young girl, I remember sitting on the stairs when my family members would watch LA Law, and LA Law, which you may not even know because you're so young, but LA Law was kind of off limits. I was supposed to be in bed, and I remember watching some of the actors, and they would go to trial, and I remember thinking, I want to do that. And so as a second career, I worked 15 years in the financial sector, and I decided that my second career was going to be a career that I was going to make a difference in the world and advocate for those that often don't have a voice. And often it's against, you know, big business or big corporations that don't do the right thing, or their employees don't do the right thing by their fellow employees. Or in the case of nursing home, where the staff and the management are not taking care of our family members in the way that we were promised, and harming them in ways that are atrocious.
That is such meaningful work, and I can tell you are so passionate about that. And not sure if I'm familiar with that particular show, but you know, Law and Order is always kind of a stand-in at our house. So amazing! Thank you so much for sharing. And starting off, you know, your career now as a lawyer, what advice do you have for new lawyers?
Well, my advice for new lawyers, and I'm still a baby lawyer, like I'm still a couple years out, I still am learning every single day, every minute of every day. And the best advice that I have is to reach out, ask questions. I often think a lot of my questions are dumb, and so I have to think about it all the time before I finally reach out. And then when I do reach out, the attorney that's been practicing for 10 or 20, 30 years is like, that's not a dumb question. That's a completely fair question. I can't believe you sat on it for that long. And I should have just, you know, I wasted all that time sitting on it where I could have just reached out to a peer and asked the question, moved on, and gone on with my day. So my main advice is to reach out, have a mentor, have a handful of attorneys that you can contact or reach out to that are not judging you, or you don't feel judged, and you can ask those questions. And I also think, you know, another piece of advice that I would give lawyers is that when you do, or if you decide to go out on your own, make sure that you don't burn any bridges. I worked for an amazing law firm here in Des Moines, and they were wonderful to me. And I learned so much. They gave me such an amazing foundation. I still refer clients to them. I have been fortunate enough to have them refer clients to me, which is the best compliment in the world. But keep those bridges. There's no need for it. And honestly, a lot of firms are proud of their lawyers that go out on their own and make a name for themselves, because it speaks to it's part of their legacy too.
Absolutely. I love that so much. Don't be afraid to ask questions and tap into your network for the people who can help you with those answers or find the right direction. Amazing. Well, thank you so much, Alyssa, for being here today. That is great advice. Love chatting with you, and everyone else. We'll see you next week.